Hi guys, this is Amit Kaushal from Jupiter Consultants, Chandigarh, and with me, I have a pleasure to introduce, though he doesn't need the introduction, he is Bryan Reed from UCOL, New Zealand. Bryan, thank you for visiting Jupiter Consultants.
Pleasure to be here. It's exciting to be back in Chandigarh.
Oh, wonderful. So, as I've been promoting UCOL for the last couple of weeks, and today is the day when Bryan is already in Jupiter, Chandigarh. And we have had the opportunity to, introduce him quite a few students who are keen to study in New Zealand and especially UCOL College. And uh, Bryan, how was the experience interacting with the students today?
Really good. And in fact, some of the students are heading off with some really exciting plans in New Zealand. We've spoken to a number of students that were interested in masters, but we also had some people interested in diplomas of construction management, which is really good because there are good job prospects from construction management and a variety of masters that people are interested in. And again, these programs lead to good outcomes for employment and leave you in a very good position to apply for permanent residency in the future.
Yeah. So I think, Bryan, many of who are watching our videos, because our videos are being watched all across India, not limited to a particular territory or a state. So I think it will be great if you talk about little more, about the institution you represent and how well it is placed to give qualification which is highly in need and which is practical enough to bring them right after they study to the jobs, the actual job market.
Sure. UCOL is a government institution. It's an institute of technology. We're one of the oldest in New Zealand. We've been operating for over 130 years. So we're based in the North Island, about 150 kilometres north of our capital, Wellington. So we're in a city called Palmerston North. That's the fifth largest city in New Zealand. One of the things that's very good about Palmerston North is it has a lot of job opportunities, but at the same time, it is one of the cheaper cities to live in New Zealand. The cost of rents is a lot lower than the main cities, but also we provide free transport and buses for our students. So you have lower living costs and a cheaper transport. Now, in terms of programs, the Institutes of Technology offer programs up to master's level, but the big difference between us and a university is that we're very work focused. So we produce graduates that are ready to go and get jobs. And all of our programs have work-based projects within them. So this means that you go and work in a company and you do something. For example, if you're in IT, you might be developing some software for a company. If you worked in design, you might be designing them some new brochures or something like that, but it's actually working for a company. Most universities don't actually have work-based projects. So in the Institutes of Technology, we're very focused on preparing you for a job. Now, many of our companies that take on students for these projects will offer them work when they graduate. So within our region, we're a hub for the agri-tech industry. We have big health industry in our area, and there's a lot of work for IT, design, and in health. So you have really good opportunities when you graduate. Plus, there's lots of part-time work while you're studying as well.
Yeah, wonderful. And Bryan, like you interacted with a couple of students who have recently been refused from Australia, and this is not limited to just a couple of students because all across India or even, the whole South Asia, there's been quite a few refusals from, even for the good profiles from Australia. And the students are really disappointed with the results because they think that their profile was good enough because there's a lot of, scrutiny before the actual visa file is submitted. So there's an apprehension in the minds of the student and the families. Will the visa refusal from Australia affect their visa outcome in New Zealand?
No, it won't. New Zealand looks at you for who you are and all the documentation you put forward. So the fact that Australia may have refused you doesn't influence your New Zealand visa. And we have quite a transparent system in New Zealand. And so if there's a set of criteria which, your agent Jupiter can help you with. And so please don't be put off if you had a negative experience with Australia. We're really looking to encourage more students for New Zealand. and our government is actively looking to help students to study in New Zealand, but also with possible migration in the future.
Yeah, because as we were discussing, that New Zealand is the only country which has laid out the total process. Just they laid out the process by which a student can apply for the residency visa, which is not the case with I think many other countries. So in that sense also, it's a very good promising destination. And Brian, we were discussing about the credit transfer, because which is a unique option UCOL has. Like if somebody is already doing Bachelor of Technology here in India, or they are in their second year, third year, or even final year, so they can study the same bachelor's there and get the credit transfer. Can you just put on a light on that?
Sure. Look, we're very focused on trying to make New Zealand affordable. And one of the ways we can help students is we appreciate that they've already done often study in their own market. So if we look at a couple of our key programs, one is applied science. This is training you to be a lab technician. Now, if you've already completed a diploma in this area of applied science, then you're very likely to be given 1 year credit, which means you can come for just 2 years instead of 3. So that reduces the funds you need and also reduces your tuition costs. Now, we also offer similar pathways for IT and for design. So particularly for IT, we have many students that have completed a diploma in India. Now, if you've completed a degree in either IT or applied science, you may be eligible to just come for 1 year. And that would be a very good outcome in terms of very low fees and living costs. So we're very flexible, and we would welcome to look at your qualification and then give you some feedback on it.
And Brand, I was just going through the programs. I really keen to know about, because UCOL is pioneer in teaching the nursing programs, the healthcare program. And today I saw a program like the veterinary nursing. So which is the next available intake for nursing programs in UCOL?
So in New Zealand, we had 2 intakes for nursing for UCOL, February and July. July intake is actually full, but we do have places for February. We also, as you just mentioned, we have a veterinary science nursing program. So what that does is it trains you to be a veterinary nurse in a veterinary clinic, which looks after domestic animals like pets, cats, and dogs. So it's not farm animals. This is a 2-year qualification. We do have a shortage in New Zealand, so we don't have a lot of veterinary nurses. So there's good prospects for getting jobs. Also, there's a new visa coming out in the near future, which will allow students to have some stay-back work opportunities, even from a level 6 qualification. So I think that's quite a unique qualification, veterinary nursing, but there are good prospects.
And the another program which we discussed with a student who is interested in construction. So can you just put on light, so how construction program helps the student to bridge the gap between the demand and supply of the skilled people in construction? And
Sure. New Zealand is a country that does a lot of civil engineering. So we have a lot of projects building new roads, new bridges, water infrastructure. So there is quite a high demand for civil engineers. So we currently have a program called Diploma in Construction Management. And there are 2 options in that program. One is construction management. The other is quantity surveying. Now, quantity surveying is something that a lot of people don't really fully understand, but all big projects have quantity surveyors. So those are the people that track the projects, and they specify all the equipment in projects, and they help manage the project during its life. So all big projects will have at least one quantity surveyor. Now, there is a shortage of quantity surveyors around the world, and particularly New Zealand and Australia. So there's good employment outcomes from that program. Depending on the kind of job you get when you graduate, it is on our New Zealand skills shortage list. So you may be eligible to get a longer term visa based on that. Also, there's good prospects for future migration, because we are looking for people with these qualifications. Now, with the the Diploma of Construction Management, there are opportunities for people to join as a junior team member in a construction company. So you will help manage projects and you'll get your on the job experience. So construction is very much a hands-on industry, but you do need to have qualifications. So this is a good starting point for your journey into the construction industry.
All right. So I think it's really enriching experience to host Brian here in Jupiter Consultants. Anything just as a closing remarks, you want to say anything to the student?
Look, I think this is an exciting time to come to New Zealand. We are looking for more students. We have a very warm, welcoming country, and our government is supportive of bringing more students in. We're supportive of immigration. So I think we have a very clear and transparent way forward for people who may want to stay longer in New Zealand. And of course, if you study a master's, you've got that 3-year stay-back visa, which allows you to bring your partner. If you have children, they can go to New Zealand schools as well. Yeah. So it's particularly encouraging for master's students. So now's a really good time to consider New Zealand.
Right. So guys, this is Mr. Bryan Reed from UCOL, and we really had a great experience hosting him. He had interacted with quite a few students, and they were really, happy to have conversation, because there were students who have finished their programs or degrees in even UK, and they're more keen to go to New Zealand now. So quite a big opportunity for students who are in India or who are already in UK or Canada. They want to go to New Zealand for their further studies. They can anytime get in touch with us, and we'll be more than happy to assist you for your future study dreams in New Zealand. Thank you so much.
Thank you.